In this video, we will buy Orbit off the Unity Asset Store and import it into a project. To complete this tutorial, you will need to be connected to the internet. Open Unity and start a new project. We highly recommend that you have a separate project just for Orbit, as it will keep your projects using Orbit well organized. Orbit builds to a C#.dll file, which you then reference in your game. This means that the Orbit Unity package does not need to be present in a game project using Orbit. Click Window on the menu bar and go to the Asset Store. Once the Asset Store has loaded, search for coAdjoint Orbit. In the search results, look for the following icon. This is the asset icon of Orbit. Click on the title. Once the page is loaded, click the Buy button in the top left-hand corner. Log in if you haven't done so already. Enter in your payment details and click Download. Once Orbit has downloaded, the Import Package window will open. Click Import in the bottom right of the window. The Orbit Editor Unity package will now be decompressed and copied into your project's asset directory. Close the Asset Store window. Let's take a look at the files in this folder. Navigate to the Orbit folder. You will see that there are 5 subfolders, a PDF, and 2 .dlls in this directory. Let's take a quick look at some of these items. The PDF is the Orbit User Guide. This manual contains information such as frequently asked questions, a how-to section, a step-by-step guide to using the software, and an API reference. After completing this tutorial series, reading the Orbit User Guide is the next step in improving your knowledge of Orbit. The Builds folder contains compiled versions of Orbit projects, known as Orbit libraries. More information about Orbit builds can be found in the tutorial video, Using Orbit in a Game. The Libraries folder contains your work-in-progress Orbit projects. These projects are serialized or stored to disk as .asset files, but essentially contain a single Orbit library. We'll return to Orbit libraries in the next tutorial, getting started with the Orbit Network Editor. The Export folder contains Orbit libraries stored in XML format. These files are used for transferring Orbit libraries between projects or different coAdjoint software, such as coAdjoint Action or the software bundle. The other folders and .dll files are used by the Orbit editor and aren't important for using Orbit in your games. We are now ready to use the Orbit editor. In the next tutorial, we will introduce the Orbit editor itself and start using some of its features.